YouTube. We've got Baer and Maddie Jager, who have recently started the Tequila Report. So we're going to hear a little bit about that. And as always, my illustrious co-host, La Tequila Mamacita. I am the Tequila Encyclopedia. And let's get this show rolling. So back in our Instagram days, which Jay, you'll be familiar with because you were a part of our Instagram show a few times.
Yeah.
We used to do this thing called Smile Like an Asshole. And we did it because on Instagram, it was the only way you got a still of everyone at the same time smiling. It is a relic of the past. We do not need to do it. However, we're going to because we can't help it. So, is everyone ready? ¿Estamos listos?
Yes.
Are you going to count in Spanish?
I'm going to count to 10, probably in English, maybe in Spanish, and everyone just smile. Ready? Set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cheers.
Cheers.
So
was
not
very
completely
impressive.
unnecessary, not something we need to do. Next, one thing that we do need to do is we do a toast, and we basically cheers to someone from the last week. We say what we're drinking and who we're cheersing to. We never make our guests go first. Last week I went first. I have the videotape to prove it. It's you.
I'd like to see the replays. No, but just okay. So, and Sueño Tequila is what I'm drinking. This is the longest age Blanco. It's Jay, Baer, and Maddie's Blanco Tequila. And I'm going to cheers to my sister, Chris, who very generously gifted me the MacBook Pro that I'm live with right now. Sweet. Cheers to my sister, Chris. Salud.
Chris. Hell yeah. Since we have 2 guests, I will offer for one of them to go next. Otherwise, I will go next. Do either of you want to go next?
I can go.
Okay,
but I don't have anything fun to drink. I have a tea because Jay and I were both at the national championship game last night. You know, my voice needs my throat needs a little coating, so I have a tea. I will shout out my husband, who I went to the game with.
Aw.
Yeah.
Cheers to your husband. What's his name?
Johnny.
Oh, I like that name. It's my husband's name.
Great name.
Love it. Okay, I will go next. I, too, am no longer feeling embarrassed about it. Drinking tea. It is freaking freezing, and I just kind of need to. Last night was the Sip and Guzzle 2nd anniversary party, and I, at 6 p.m., was sitting on my couch in comfortable clothes, remembering that I told a tequila brand owner I would meet her there. And that is when I got my butt up and went out in the freezing cold with 2 coats on. So I want to cheers to Steve and Sip and Guzzle. Congratulations on 2 years of success. One of the best bars ever, ever, ever. Some unparalleled hospitality. And also, I met a few people over the week that were awesome. I met Amanda at Linden's, who is an incredible bartender. So I want to just shout her out. And then the team at Rosa's Wine and Agave Bar in Tribeca. So cheers to all them.
Cheers to the whole gang.
I clearly go out a lot.
Jay,
you're up,
in the
my
big
man.
city. I also have tea because it was indeed a long night and an early morning for Maddie and myself. But I am switching to tea because I'm a tequila professional. And I have an Arete Añejo, Mexican strength, purchased here in Vallarta. I'm going to shout out the one, the only, Fernando Mendoza.
That name had it all, man. I will gladly cheers to him.
Cheers to Fernando.
I mean, for anyone who doesn't know,
That was the best last night. I mean, there's a lot of amazing moments last night, but at the end, after the speeches, when they played Fernando by ABBA and the entire stadium, all the Indiana people were singing it in unison, that was a really, really powerful moment. My son was bawling.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It had it all. So it was a college football championship. Anyone who doesn't know, like Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana, which was the worst program in football 2 short years ago. And
Literally.
their coach came in and turned them around in 2 years. And also, a little bittersweet for Fernando, he was, I think, turned down by University of Miami or something.
As a walk-on. Turned down as a walk-on.
Turned down as a walk-on. Insult to injury. And then beats them. I mean, the game had it all. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, cheers to that.
Maddie and her husband, both IU grads, so they earned it.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I
it was
love
fun.
it.
Oh,
And I live across the street from the campus when I'm in Indiana.
Yeah, you definitely have to go to those sorts of games because that was history in the making. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
speaking of history in the making, I recently have been seeing a lot of stuff about the Tequila Report, as I'm sure a lot of people have been.
Yes.
You guys,
Yeah, we've all got our merch.
whatever you guys.
And Marissa, I don't know if you remember, Marissa, but when we first had Jay on the show, it was right in the very, very beginning. I don't even think 1,000 followers on your Jay Bear account, and then it's
It was
like
somewhere
all
around
of
there.
us.
Yeah, it was when we first started doing the research
Yeah.
projects on Instagram.
When
And
we
I
booked
remember
him-
asking you like for advice, and you telling me like what to do, and focus on the people who know nothing about what you're talking. Don't focus on like the people that are doing what you're doing, and you're so right. And then you just exploded.
Well, he's a pretty popular guy, and I remember when I booked him. Yes, he had fewer than 1,000 followers, and then it was maybe like a month or two later that he came on, and he had blown past both of us. And I remember when I was booking him, I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna just kick ass at this. I know he's gonna kick ass at this." And I wish it was like.
Well, thank you, but I think in fairness, that was a time period right when Maddie joined the show, so that was not exactly solely my doing.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the
She is truly Maddie is the secret sauce.
Well, that's the attitude that makes people like you. Let me tell you.
And I thought it was genius because you both have such different palates. And Jay, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you already maybe had a little experience with tequila and Maddie didn't. So it was like this fresh perspective from somebody who didn't really just drink straight tequila. And I would love her very honest opinions on the reviews and talking, oh, it's harsh or it tastes like this or that, and maybe liking the sweeter ones at first. And really cool to see her palate evolve in the last, however long it's been, almost 2 years,
4 years.
for you guys.
Almost 4
4?
years. Almost 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah, it flew
gosh.
by.
So you guys weren't that far behind us because TequiLadies celebrated 4 years this past fall. So
Yeah.
that's pretty incredible.
We were probably 6 months. I think we were 6 months behind you guys.
Damn. Wow. Yeah. You guys killed it. And frankly, anything you guys touch, I think turns to gold. It feels like, and I know that that's not an instant thing. That's hard work. And
It is.
I remember being on a trip with Jay, and he had everything planned and scheduled like to a T. Like I was sitting there like bopping along, going, "Oh, maybe I'll make a video about this," and he like had it all scheduled out, like what he was doing. It was pretty cool.
We've always had our content calendar like months in advance, but that was also because we got together to shoot videos every like 3 weeks because we don't live in the same town. So we kind of would get together and shoot like how many, like, I don't know, 12 plus videos all at once.
Wow.
So
How did you
we
not get
had to
drunk?
plan them out.
How did you not get drunk?
How long would that take?
Honestly,
2 hours.
not very long.
2 hours.
12 videos in 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's one every 10 minutes.
Maddie is exceptionally talented. She's one take, and I've been doing video and public speaking professionally for 30 years. So, I can usually do one take, and we've got a great camera person. Sometimes Maddie's sister is our camera person. Our most recent camera person is now our incredible intern, Lexi Lannon, who's working for the Tequila Report. We saw her at the game as well, which is super fun.
Huh.
So we've always had, it's a village. So when we used to shoot, we don't shoot videos anymore, which we'll talk about, but when we used to shoot videos, it was Maddie and me and a camera person, and usually Maddie's dad, who would come to help, but basically drink free tequila, but under the guise of helpfulness. But yeah, and so then my wife, who's like tolerant of this hobby, but I wouldn't say it's a true embrace, she would go upstairs with the dog and be like, "You guys do your tequila thing," and I'm like, "Well, we're paying part of the mortgage with this job, so whatever."
Yeah.
It was a good time every 3 weeks. Good times.
I'm not surprised you did everything in one take because your reviews were always like just very raw and real and down to earth and unscripted. I really like that.
But polished, like always polished. Like I feel like one of the hallmarks of what you guys do is it always just looks professional, and that of course is something that stands out because a lot of people are hobbyists and we're grabbing phones, and up until 3 weeks ago we were doing this on Instagram Live through our cell phones. So like that was always a thing that made you guys stand out. But
it's funny. That's one of the things that we've heard the most about the Tequila Report launch is that people love the visual presentation of the graphics and the site and how it operates on mobile and the emails. The fact that edition 2 of the Tequila Report just went out like an hour ago, so people should have it in their inbox. We're really proud of this edition. But all that visual presentation is Maddie. She set the visual tone for the the project, and we just love it. It's all watercolor style if you haven't seen it, and we think it's super cool.
Okay, so first, I want to know how you guys met, and then I want to know what the Tequila Report is, because everyone's seeing it all over their feeds, and I want to hear it from you. What is this thing?
Okay, I'll have Maddie do the genesis story, and then I'll talk about Tequila Report.
Okay, so we met. I was at IU, and my parents were friends with Jay and Allison, his wife. His son played hockey with my little brother, and so they knew each other, and they knew that Jay was big in marketing, and they asked if he would just like have a conversation with me because that was the career path that I was going down. So we met for coffee, and soon after, Jay hired me for an internship at his company, which I interned at for probably about a year. And then he sold it right as I was graduating, and then went from having, I don't know how many employees you had, Jay, like
25.
20, yeah, to having 0. And he was like, hey, do you want to just like come along with me and help me, figure this out? And so I did. And then not very long after that was when he started doing the tequila videos, and he was like, hey, do you want to be in a video? And I was like, sure. Like, I'm not a public speaker. This is like, I've gotten a lot better at it, but it's just still very much not my thing as much as Jay's.
Oh, it is so your thing now, but please continue.
Yeah, but even right now, she's like slowly breaking out in hives.
Yeah, no, I am. I always wear like high neck stuff because I get like hivey. But so that was like our origin of how we kind of came to be.
Wow. And I remember like for me personally, when I first started doing this, I didn't put my face on anything, so I can understand your trepidation of being like, ooh, do I want to be on a video? Do I want my face out there? And I've got to imagine that now when you walk around Mexico, like people recognize you, right? How's that feel?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it's wild the first time someone like stops and goes, ooh, can I get a picture?
Yeah, it is. No, I was not expecting that ever.
That is really, really cool. Just again, just how everything has evolved, and then bringing us up to this point with the Tequila Report. Was there a gap that you saw, like as far as online publications with tequila? Because there really isn't anything like what you're doing, because it's articles and stories and reviews. So like what inspired you?
Wait, what is the Tequila Report? Before we say like what is it? Like I
want to know what inspired them though to do it in the first place.
It makes great
it's a couple things. One, as we said, we have shot videos every 3 weeks now for years and years and years. And we wanted to build something that transcended that routine for a number of reasons. One, I'm trying to spend half the year here in Puerto Vallarta, which makes it very difficult to shoot videos with Maddie. I offered to fly her down every 3 weeks, but she said no. And it's also difficult to...
Maddie, what?
Yeah, volunteers, go in the chat. It's also difficult to get bottles here. Like ironically, it's hard to get bottles here, right?
Oh, that's
so many of the brands are U.S. releases, right? So unless I get them from the distillery, it's actually hard for me to even get tequila here, ironically.
So Maddie, why don't you mule the tequila down every 3 weeks and be in the video?
This was the plan.
I do get a lot of tequila delivered to my house when Jay is out of town, I will say. It's shocking.
And she does not have the 500 linear feet of shelves either, so it's a little bit of a challenge for her. I would also say that Maddie is working on starting a family, so pregnant lady shooting tequila videos is not super consumer friendly either. So we decided, we take, we've been together almost 6 years now, I guess, and our thing is, look, every year we're going to come up with a plan for that year, and we only have 2 rules, which is no assholes. I've got other business interests that Maddie is intimately involved with and incredibly important to all the things that I do. But because we have other business interests, like we don't have to work with anybody. We get to pick whose money we take in all of the businesses that we're in, which is an incredibly fortunate place to be, and I understand what that privilege is.
But you're cool
it's
smiling
amazing to
like an
have
asshole.
that.
Yeah.
What's that?
You can still smile like an asshole.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
So we have a no assholes policy, which is an incredible blessing. And then the second thing that we work on is like we say, how can we make this year the most fun we've ever had? And so Maddie and I get together and we try and engineer what can we do this year to make this the most fun we've ever had, and that kind of guides the strategy, right? And so after kind of doing videos and Instagram and TikTok and all that for many years, and having an incredible success way beyond what we'd ever envisioned in that world, we thought, okay, it's time to like build this into something that doesn't require she and I to be on camera, because it is a limiting scenario, right? For a lot of reasons. So we thought, okay, let's build something else in a different vehicle. So to answer your question, Marissa, Tequila Report is Rolling Stone magazine, but for tequila. It is a digital magazine about culture, about brands, about bottles, about events, and it is every 2 weeks a very comprehensive email that comes to your inbox for free. And then the site is updated constantly. We have 12 contributing writers, including the only Tequila Mamacita, and many other respected members of the agave spirits community. We have 25 brand partners. We have an amazing group of subscribers, more than 50,000 subscribers already.
50,000 subscribers?
It's going great, and we're super excited.
50,000 subscribers?
As all people who are on our mailing list.
That's a lot.
Yeah, all
I
people
didn't
who are on
even
our
know
mailing
that
list
there were 50,000.
over,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And when did you start this, that you have 50,000 subscribers?
Well, what we did was we took the Tequila Baer list, which is 50,000 people, and we just switched it over.
Wow, that's incredible.
Because we already had 50,000.
Yeah, but that's still an incredible number of people. Like you are tastemakers at that point. And you said that you have brand partners. What does a brand partner mean? What does it
Yeah,
entail?
we can move some bottles for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you talk about brand partners. What does that mean? Like, what does that entail? What is that? Is that a paid thing? Like, what is that?
Yeah, so brand partners,
Maddie's
we have.
So Maddie's the publisher, I'm the editor.
Yeah, so we have 25 brand partners. A brand partner gets an exclusive 2-week sponsorship on the website and on the email newsletter. So that's why there's 25 slots. We didn't have one the first 2 weeks of the year. And they get, that exclusive sponsorship. They get an article written about their brand. So we did one. The first issue was Arete, and about the horse Arete and how the name came to be. This issue is Suerte, I believe, Jay.
Is it about the rabbit?
History of Suerte. The headline is the 6 lucky breaks that Suerte Tequila benefited from.
Huh. Well, I gotta get on this mailing list. I'm missing out here.
And then just kind of like a sprinkling of some other stuff. We say that we will review one of their new tequilas or one of their tequila releases that come out this year. Now, it's not Jay and I reviewing it. We have a whole reviews team that Heidi is on, which is awesome. They're all respected tequila connoisseurs. And we have several different things that they're all involved in. So Jay, is this you?
It, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the site. I'm going to decline cookies. Sorry. Wow. And you already have merch? Wow. Check this out. Is your single barrel worth the money? Yes. This is a question that keeps coming up. Yes. Love that. Oh, this is cool. Okay.
It's a really, really cool publication. I think in the beginning, everybody thought it was just people reviewing tequila, and they didn't understand that there was all of this knowledge on a wealth of information on this site that not just like caters to the newbies, but some of the agave nerds, too, that will enjoy something for everyone.
Heidi, guess what? Every single one of these brands, minus Clase Azul, has been on TequiLadies. So,
well, we'll have to fix that.
Yeah, and that's just this week's reviews, right? So Six reviews a week.
Guys, look at the merch.
Yeah.
Look at the merch.
Mm-hmm.
We love merch. 6 reviews per week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
incredible stuff. That's
Yeah.
incredible stuff. Okay, well, I am sold. I can't
So
wait
yeah,
to
when we say it's Rolling Stone for tequila, like that's a real positioning, right? It's the same way that Rolling Stone is about culture, it's about reviews, it's about content, it's about storytelling. That's what this is. And while there's pieces of this that are covered elsewhere, right? So Agave Matchmaker kind of has reviews on lock. Like we're not trying to be Agave Matchmaker. We have a partnership with Agave Matchmaker. We love what they're doing. They love what we're doing. They're a database. We're not a database. We're a
Right.
friggin' magazine. You know, like Rolling Stone
Yeah.
doesn't review every album. That's crazy, right? Wine Spectator doesn't review every wine. We just want to review things that we think are interesting. And if you want the whole story, go to Agave Matchmaker. And in fact, in every review we publish, we link to Agave Matchmaker for all the other reviews. So we're not trying to be the definitive source of truth. We're saying this bottle, this Patron Reposado, this is what Heidi thinks of it. Heidi's name is on it. All the reviewers sign the reviews. None of the reviewers are paid to make reviews by brands. You know, obviously sometimes we might get a review bottled, but there's no cash for that. And so we're not trying to disintermediate anybody else in the community. But what we are trying to do is bring some measure of written journalism to the tequila category. Because there are a lot of people making video content now, including in the past ourselves. There are some people doing podcasts on a somewhat limited basis. There are some YouTube channels on a somewhat limited basis. What Maddie and I thought when we were working on what's the strategy for this year is there isn't a lot of written content, right? And I'm a writer by trade. I've written 7 books, right? I've written 1,500 blog posts. Like I'm a writer way more than I'm a video creator. And it was strange to me that we didn't have a source of you know, a significant source of written content about the tequila category. And so we thought, well, we can do this. And Maddie and I built a previous business in digital publishing where we had 100 writers writing for us at one time. So we know how to scale this business and do it well and hit deadlines and things like that. And so we certainly acknowledge people like Tequila Aficionado and others who have done written content in the past. But what we're bringing to the table is a little different scope and scale. I mean, we're publishing 6, 3, 5, 12, 13 like legitimate pieces of content a week. So you know, we're not messing around.
Okay, so we're getting
Yeah.
a bunch of questions in the comments. Like people are saying, how, what are your requirements? I guess if someone wants to be a contributor, how does that work? Do they pay you? Are you looking for volunteers? Like how?
Yeah, both. I mean, we're not really like actively looking today to add more people, but we've had lots of really talented folks reach out. As soon as we kind of get our sea legs, again, today was the second issue. As soon as we kind of get our sea legs, we're going to start talking about kind of what's the next phase of this. The best place to go if you want to contribute content is go to tequilareport.com, go to the About section, and there's a Contact Us form, which goes right to Maddie and myself. For brands that are interested, we've had a lot of brand interest already in terms of reviewing product and things like that. If you go to tequilareport.com/submissions, there's a form for that. If you're interested in getting Tequila Report in your inbox and you don't already, you can just go to tequilareport.com/subscribe. Or go to the site and click subscribe there. It's totally free. If you get the email every 2 weeks, we'll send it to you for nothing. There is a paid upgraded membership, which we call Insiders, that we can talk about in a little bit about what that gets you beyond the free membership.
Amazing. So we're on so you guys can all see we're on the tequilareport.com right now. You go to About. Here's where you can sign up.
Yep, scroll down.
And then here is where you can email them, contact them if you have information, things you want to do. Very cool, Jay. Very cool, Maddie. Okay.
And then it's really cool too, because like Jay was saying, when you go, if you do read somebody's review, it'll have a link on it that says, "For more reviews, click here," and it takes you to the Agave Matchmaker, and then you can see all of the other reviews.
And now here's the Insider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an insider, you get 10% off all your tequila purchases at Old Town Tequila, nom170.com, which is formerly Sealbox, for tequilalovers.com, which is formerly Love Scotch out of LA. So they have significant inventory. You can save a ton of money just on the 10%. You get access to Zoom calls with master distillers. First call and brand owners. First call is Monday with Macaulay from Alma de Jaguar. You get discounts at Sabor y Cultura events, discounts at Arte Agave events, discounts at Good Juice. You get 10% off in our merch store. You get 30% off at Mexico, which is amazing handmade Mexican gifts, and a bunch of other discounts coming soon. So we feel like for $89, it's a pretty attractive offer.
Yeah, we've all bought bottles for that much that suck. So this is a sure thing.
Yeah.
Bottle might suck, but this is a sure thing. And now you get a discount on other bottles. So that's very cool.
Yeah, we're also starting a tours business in conjunction with Package Group, and you get $100 off every tour that you come on with us. So just by token of that, that's you probably save your money. And then we also have a whole series of single barrel and special batch projects planned. The first one just launched tonight, a special añejo with Alma de Jaguar, which I'll have Maddie talk about in a minute. But if you're an insider, you get first crack at all the single barrels and special projects we do, and you get first crack at tour reservations. Because I get DMs literally every night from people who say, when are you and Maddie going to start doing tours? Well, the answer is in March. But we have way more demand than we have slots. And so if you're an insider, you get first crack at, we want to go, we want to sign up.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is. I mean, who wouldn't want to go on a tequila tour with Maddie and Jay? I mean,
my wife, Allison. But other than that, I will say, this is a true story. So my wife went with me on the very first tour I ever went on many, many years ago. And she had a great time. But, she's sort of like, I've seen a distillery, like, cool, love your hobby / job. I have now been on 17 different tours with some member of Maddie's family, including Maddie, her husband, her mom, her dad, her brother, and her grandfather. Have my children never gone? No, never.
Yeah, what's going on there? It's so wild. I was just saying this to my mom. I was like, Mom, you should really come on one of these trips. The best I got out of her was Sip Tequila Fest last year. They have a house in Florida. It was a 2-hour drive. They did the drive. And then everyone was like so just like blown away meeting my mom. They were giving her like cases and cases of tequila on the way out. And so she left and she's like, I love these events. I'm like, Mom, this is not like normal. This is not
not always like this. Yeah.
Yeah. But like she's coming this year too. And I'm a little worried because it's not going to be that. That's not what it's going to be. First off, I'm not going to be that cool. Jay, you're coming. Like you're going to totally.
I'm not going. I can't go, unfortunately, but.
Oh no. All right. Well, maybe I'm cool again.
Heidi and others will be waving the Tequila Report flag.
Oh
yeah.
Right.
No, I can't go either.
But we'll have people there. I just want to say, I'm just going to shout out real quick, if you don't mind, the contributors so far on the site, because they have been, when we said, hey, let's ask people to help us with reviews and content and all that, and we give them a very nominal honorarium just to kind of cover like a fraction of their time. I was like, man, I hope somebody says yes, because I don't want to write all these reviews. And it's been incredible. And they're just the WhatsApp group we have for all the reviewers is super awesome and fun. And everybody's just been bending over backwards in service of the community and Tequila Report. And Maddie and I couldn't be more thrilled. So I just want to shout out the people we have on the team right now. Brad Buskirk, Brad Nykum, Bryce Taylor, Graciela Rios, Greg Bortolato, many people know Greg, Heidi, Keith Bogart, Kellen Wilson, Lauren Castano, Michael Richardson, Tequila Cop, Mike Barrett from Chicago. So it's a really awesome crew. So thanks to all of them.
Yeah, those are some pretty popular palettes that people have heard of. These are all people you.
What made you decide on 12? What made you decide 12? Why was that the magic number for reviewers?
Great question. Do you want to know the actual answer? So
yeah, always.
Okay. When we built the email template, we use Beehive, which is an awesome platform, but there's only so much space in an email before it gets clipped, and then Google puts on the, click here to read more. And if we had more than 6 reviews, it was clipping the email. So we're like, okay, we know we have this many feature stories, we have this many news stories. So we actually literally only have room for 6 per email. And also we felt like, you know, we may expand it to 8 or something, you know, whatever. Like, it's not a magic number, but we also don't want to have 30, because at some point then you are becoming agave matchmaker, and that's not the strategy here at all. Like, we're not trying to be a database. We want them to be a database. We want to be a magazine, right? And one thing I will say, just in defense of our reviewers, who Maddie and I hand selected based on the no assholes principle, is
That's how I didn't get the tax.
I was going to talk about that offline, but since you brought it up, look, we've gotten some criticism in some of the corners of the community.
Wait, really?
Facebook groups and Reddit and things like that. Like, hey, these reviewers are only influencers.
You're surprised, Marissa?
And that's why they were picked. And these influencers don't have appropriate training to do these reviews, etc. And I thought, well, I don't know if you've done much of a deep dive on some of the agave matchmaker community reviewers, but whatever. But let me just say this. You know, Jan Wenner, who founded Rolling Stone, you know, was a Berkeley dropout who wrote for the student newspaper. Pete Wells, who for 15 years was the New York Times restaurant critic and the most influential restaurant critic in America, started off as a fact checker for the New Yorker. Marvin Schenken, who started Wine Spectator, which is certainly a model that we're trying to follow at some level, is not a sommelier and never has been. Roger Ebert, probably the most famous critic in American history, started off as a news reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times. So it seems like only in beverage alcohol is there this bias that you have to be a sommelier or a catador or some other kind of credential in order for your palate to have merit and for you to be able to give something a score. Again, we're not saying that if Tequila Report says this is a 90, that it is the only truth in the world. As you guys have said many times on this show and beyond, like, drink what you love, but know what you drink, and we feel the same way. That's why we insist that our reviewers sign their reviews, because it's not the Tequila Report score, it's Kellen Wilson's score. It just happens to be published on the Tequila Report. And so I just want to clear that up, because people have been a little bitchy about it, and I'm like, I don't really get it. Like, if you don't believe in what Heidi says, then follow a different, then follow what Keith Bogart
Don't read her, or hate read her review. I like that concept, right? Because I always tell people with tequila agave matchmaker, same thing. On the rating, there's 2 ratings, right? There's the community one and then like the panel one. And I tell people, try to trust the panel a little more. These are people who have a lot of reviews now. Well, what credentials? Jay, like you, I think credentials are about as important as the paper they're written on. In some cases, it's helpful. Like, I want my doctor to have gone to med school, maybe. But I don't need my tequila person to have some catador training. It doesn't mean that we're going to have aligned palates. And frankly, sometimes formalized education can work against you. I say this while holding a master's degree. So kettle, high, black, high. But truly, I think practicality can often overcome most else. And
but I'd also say many of the people who are on the reviews team do have catador training at some level, including myself. I think the criticism is that all the people who we chose have some measure of following on Instagram. And so they feel like, well, influencers can't have a palate or whatever, to which I say, I'm not fucking stupid. We're trying to run a business here, right? Like, so obviously we want people to participate in reviews who also bring along an audience, because that benefits everybody. Like,
there's always going to be people that aren't happy, and you know, you'll get somebody that truly has a passion about it. I know, like me and everybody else that's on the Tequila Report as reviewers, and Marissa, and so many people. And as soon as they actually start making an impact, and then they're labeled as an influencer, and so then you can't trust them anymore, because everybody thinks we're making gobs of money from these brands. They don't realize, like, a lot of what we're doing, like, we're not making any money on. We're doing it because we love it. And what I love about what you did, Jay, is you picked 12 pretty different palettes of people. Like, we don't all agree on everything.
That was on purpose.
You know, and like you said, it's not a consensus. Just because Tequila Cop likes something, or Lauren likes something, or I like something, it doesn't mean that 12 of us agree. It's just our own opinion. It's our own review.
Actually, the most fun thing we've done so far, Marissa, is we published a list of our top 150 tequila brands, which was actually voted on by all the reviewers on the team. and that was pretty interesting.
I was
because
going to
it's
say,
based
how
on the
contentious.
Yes, it
brand.
was.
It was based on the brand, not an individual expression, right? And so you're like, okay, how do you think about this brand, especially if you've got brands that only make a couple of expressions? But I'll show you where this is typically insider only content. Usually you have to pay for this, but because we're on the show, it'll be interesting. So here's our list.
Hell
And I'm
yeah,
pretty
Jay.
proud of where we came out. Number 1, Gascoigne.
Oh, hell yeah.
2, G4, Fortaleza, Siempre, Montegave, Las Lor, Siete, Volant, Don Vicente,
Oh, Don
Lágrimas,
Vicente is so underrated. I love Don
Amen.
Vicente.
And then in
It
this
is.
directory, we kind of got a score, 1 to 100. We got a price categorization, which we did based on their core Blanco, whether or not it's innovative. So how much kind of crazy stuff do they do? Is it widely available in
Ooh,
the
I love
US?
that.
And then every single brand has a link to buy. I should say that every review that we publish also has a link to buy. And if you're an insider, it has an automatic, 10% off coupon code as well. So we're trying to make it very, very easy for website visitors and subscribers to connect the dots on bottles that they might love.
Well, I got to tell you, as someone who doesn't know, like you, all three of you are involved. I am not. Just hearing this and the way it's being pitched, it sounds like a pretty incredible tool, and it does sound like it fulfills a part of the market that you guys absolutely recognized is not saturated at all, pun intended, and probably could use some space and exploration. Love this, and I'm excited to now be a subscriber.
You know
Maddie,
what I
talk about
thought was
how-
really cool? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead, Heidi.
I was going to say one thing I thought was really cool. You've been posting like the top 5 or the top 10 tequilas voted for by tequila insiders. And, you've said right from the get-go, this is an informative publication. This is not just an additive-free publication site. And I thought it was really interesting that one of the top 10 brands was Pantalones. Because a lot of people that are like,
new brands of the year.
it's one of the new brands. And I was like, this is really cool because it just shows that there is transparency, there's honesty. These are just tequila drinkers expressing what they enjoy. And I love that.
And
I did a podcast
because those
this
people
weekend.
came from our content, most of what they are going to gravitate toward is going to be craft tequila. But not exclusively. In fact, the Extra Añejos list gets published late this week, I think. It's on the website now, but the social media content will come out late this week. And Cuervo Reserva de la Familia is on the list.
Wow.
But again, so I recorded a podcast this weekend for the Agave road trip, and the thesis was around Don Julio and its popularity. And we can deny all we want, whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter. Other people do, and so that matters. They have a footprint in the market, they have a say, they have a seat at the table, and so we have to recognize that our palates are not the end-all be-all.
You are literally bigger than every single craft brand combined.
Yeah. And truly, you're right? Like, I'm sure there's a self-selection and bias to people who would actively subscribe to the Tequila Report, right? Like they skew more interested than the average consumer. And so that's great. But honesty, of course, and transparency is really key.
But they're not, like, Maddie, talk a little bit about how we're not really shooting for nerds.
Yeah. I mean, well, honestly, the goal of even the Tequila J Baer page was, not to be like the 404 level, but to be more of the 101 to 202 level, which obviously, like, as it goes along, you kind of start to get a little bit nerdier. So we have to like walk ourselves back. But the goal of the Tequila Report is to be, I think, what'd you say, Jay? There's like 4 million people that will 40 million people that will have a cocktail that has tequila in it this month. And there's like 400,000 or something people who have ever downloaded Agave Matchmaker. So your addressable audience is those 40 million people, really, but a lot of people only try to address those 400,000 people that have downloaded the app. So we're trying to broaden our audience and not like hone in on that quite as much. Now, obviously, we'll still have some articles that will be a lot nerdier than others, just because that's how it goes. But the goal is to have a pretty broad variety of things that everybody's interested in.
But that's what the most successful publications do. Like if you look at the Wall Street Journal as a microcosm, right? It has not even a microcosm, like it is a successful publication. It has sections that I read with an MBA and I'm like, okay, I got it. Then there's other sections that I read and I'm like, okay, hold on, I got to Google some of this. And I think that's by design, right? You should always be learning if you're interested. There's parts of that magazine that I skip.
Yeah, for example, like this is one that we had on the first edition, how to read a tequila bottle, which people who are in the category already know this information. But a lot of people do not know this information, right? And it goes through all the different things that you can learn here and what's required and what's not required, et cetera. And so this is probably not interesting to people who are 303 level, but for somebody who's 101 or 202, it may very well be interesting. And so we're trying to kind of thread the needle through both of those options.
And for people who love a tequila enthusiast, right? Like we've all pointed out, I think in Heidi's case, and Maddie, I don't know your case. I don't know if your husband's into tequila or not. Heidi, yours clearly is. Jay, it sounds like Allison is not the most tequila person.
She's kind of turning a corner, though. She really is.
But if someone's with a tequila enthusiast and they want to learn, maybe the Tequila Report is a place to go, right? You've got the 101, you've got all the way up to the 404, it seems like. So maybe that's where you go and you self-graduate based on what you choose to read.
Yeah, and we'd love to take you on that ride. I should say, just in shout-out purposes, I've switched from Arete to Arriesgato at this point.
What did that, do we remember what that translates to again? I had a hard time with that word.
Oh, Maddie and I were at the distillery recently, and we looked this up, and I forgot.
I had such a hard time.
What is it called? What are you drinking?
It means like risk or something.
Arriesgato. It's the new one from the package group. It's incredible.
Yeah, it means
Arriesgado.
Risk taker, maybe. Or something.
Yeah,
we're going to find out.
Wait, I was just there too. And I could not get the name right to save my life. I kept just going that one, but it was good stuff.
It does mean really good stuff. It means risky.
Risky, yeah. I was like, can't we?
Oh, that's right, risky. That's right. We talked about that. Yes, risky.
Yeah. It's good. Package Group, let me tell you, another brand that everything they touch, in my opinion, I trust. You know, they can.
And that's the idea. That's why they're putting their brand out there, right? If you don't mind, because people are always like, "Hey, who's bankrolling this thing?" I mean, Maddie and
what is wrong with people? You're not allowed to ask about
obviously also, Maddie is.
You're not allowed to ask about politics, money, or religion. What are people doing?
Maddie and me,
okay, seriously, let's cover that because I want to hear that. But second,
I do want to show you. I just want to show you who our partners are because we have a page that has all the partners.
Yeah.
So everybody who's paying us, here's the list. And some of them are not paid. Some of the events things are just trades. But for all the brands that we're working with, here's who they are, because I don't want people to be like, well, I don't, who's sponsoring this and whatever. Like we're not hiding. And in fact, all these brands we picked, right? It wasn't like an auction. So this is who we're working with.
All right, let's see.
Those are some great brands. Yep.
And oh my God, most of them have been on TequiLadies.
Sueño. Yes.
Most of them have been on TequiLadies.
Good Juice, La Pulga, Mi Genta, Nosotros Ocho.
Honestly, you know what this is? This is a good list for us to,
yeah,
this is a good list for us to reference when we're looking for guests once we hit August and we have an opening again. We do. The only thing we do is we book out TequiLadies like 6 months in advance. That's like one thing that we're really good about.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then what we're not so good about is people flake on us. So we're trying to shoot emails like a month before to double confirm people.
Yeah, having backups.
Yeah.
Yeah, super uncool. And also like we are considering a world where we may need to start charging brands a nominal fee. One, because Riverside isn't free. And two, because that'll add accountability. You're not going to flake on us if you paid to be here. So not because we need to, like, we're trying to turn this into like some revenue stream, but one, to just cover the cost of the equipment that we have, and two, to have some accountability, guys. We've had like guys Suerte, and I keep swallowing really hard because they blew us off. Actually, you know who really blew us off twice?
Wait, who blew us off?
Suerte? Well, no, Suerte, I don't like. Okay, you know what? gloves are off. Suerte, I was complimenting them on a post. I wrote something really nice. I was like, yeah, it's wild that they can be so well made. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, it's so incredible that they can be so well made and achieve that at that price. It's such a great brand. And this guy just like came after me in the comments and was like talking down to me. So then I clicked into his profile. It's the owner of Suerte. So I was like, you know what? Dead to me. Like, also, why would you treat somebody who's complimenting you that way? Number one. And number two, why would you treat anyone that way? So dead to me, number one. Number two, we had another brand that blew us off twice. And they blew us off twice, even though I confirmed with them the second time, leading up multiple times, 20 minutes before the show, they were finally like, oh, yeah, let's do it tomorrow.
Oh, gosh.
Not like, so they're dead.
Like the format of the show.
Yeah, dead to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point being, yeah, that's the one. Like if at work on our weekly team meeting, I have all of my team tell me 3 things. Okay, you ready for this? Little Marissaism. Thing number 1 is what's on your radar. So that can be like the most important project you're working on, or like some email you're tracking, something. What's on your radar? Number 2 is airing of the grievances. So if you want to complain, tell me right now. And generally, like, it ends up being productive, right? Something like I can unblock for you or whatever. Airing of the grievances is my favorite thing, and it's the most beneficial. And then the third thing is just something you're looking forward to. It doesn't have to be work related. But airing of the grievances is really important because it teaches things that we can improve on. And so if we were doing airing of the grievances for TequiLadies, I would say thing number 1 is that Instagram is a really difficult interface. Thing number 2 is that we need accountability from our brands. And thing number 3 is I need to figure out how to get this streaming on Instagram. I did this way, and I did all the steps per YouTube, but didn't.
There is a way, and you can also change the email. By the way, I found out today, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
yes, it is a little tricky.
Yeah. But so I want to know, Jay, like, and Maddie, what has been have you gotten responses from any brand owners after reviews are posted? Yeah,
great question.
That's a good question. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have gotten any negative. You might have.
No negative at all.
Yeah.
Yet. Quite a few positive comments, and people love the site. They love the site, love the reviews, etc.
Yeah.
Lots of good comments from readers and from subscribers and things like that. But it's still too early. Like, we're really only, this is only the second issue. First issue was on the 6th, right? So we're still flying under the radar a little bit for a lot of people, which is actually, as a professional marketer, that bugs me because I want everything always perfect today. Maddie knows I don't rest on my laurels very well, but also it's good to just let us kind of get all the wheels rolling before we've got to handle all that kind of hugs and knife fights.
Yeah, speaking of knife fights, you mentioned like getting some criticism, 1 about funding, and 2 just like on Reddit. What was the most surprising grievance someone had with you guys?
And first of all, Reddit is drama city, but go ahead.
I love Reddit. No, I love Reddit for many reasons. Like, I like Reddit, like, as someone who does design purchase flows, like, for a living, I go to Reddit to see what the pain points are. I mean, it truly, like, and if the person could be wrong, they'd be like, there's no way to do this. And I'm like, yeah, there is. But if they can't find it, perception's reality, baby. So, like, I love Reddit. I'm in it all the time.
For sure. Yeah, I would say 2 things, both Reddit and some of the more hardcore Facebook groups. I would say first that why would I pay for an insider's membership to access reviews and bottle discounts because I already have tequila inexpensively near my house, and why do I care about these reviewers? To which I answer, then don't pay for it. I mean, the whole newsletter is free, so all you're doing is not buying the middle school volleyball discount card that we've assembled for tequila lovers, right? And that's kind of how we think about it, right? When your volleyball team has got, like, if you get a cheeseburger, you get a fries with it. Like, that's what we've built for tequila. And if you don't want that, like, that doesn't invalidate what we're doing. But people are like offended that we have a paid membership.
Yeah.
Which is weird because every other magazine in the world has a subscriber base and a paid subscription, whatever. But okay. And then the second one, I think, is, like I said, just around the reviewers and the fact that because they have an Instagram account, that somehow invalidates their opinion. And that brands who work with influencers are somehow automatically excluded from praise. But what some of these folks don't know, because they're just in their basement drinking tequila, many of the darling brands of the craft tequila community are working with influencers. They just do it in a way that nobody knows, right? And so, people say, well, blank brand never works with influencers. I'm like, oh, you've got no idea. Right? So that's the thing, because Maddie and I also run Slingshot, which is a private consortium of craft tequila brands that we do consulting for, and we bring them together as a private community to build their businesses. And so we have very close kind of spreadsheet level business relationships with dozens of craft tequila brands. And so we know a lot of things about how this business is really going right now that other folks maybe don't know. And so sometimes that just makes me laugh a little bit.
It's funny. The criticisms people give, like those are funny. Those are funny. One of the ones that I got, one of the funniest pieces of criticism I got was, she looks like she learned about tequila from a book. And I was like,
Tequila Encyclopedia.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm literally called Tequila Encyclopedia first. Second, I didn't know literacy was something to be embarrassed about. And also, like,
well,
maybe you should read a book. There's some good ones. I'll give you some options.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maddie,
Look, I've been doing this a long time. Like, I've been at this a long time. This is my 7th or 8th startup business. I'm a professional speaker. I'm a public personality in my other business. I've written lots of books. I've gotten my share of 1-star reviews on Amazon, whatever. So I wrote a whole book called Hug Your Haters, which is how to deal with criticism.
Oh, I want
to. I love it.
I feel like I'm well suited to deal with this. That being said, the amount of time and effort and just heart that Maddie and I put into this over the last 6 months just to get it to launch is incalculable. Like we have worked so hard, especially Maddie, and nobody wants to hear their baby's ugly, even if that criticism is misplaced. So it does sting a little bit, but we feel like there's plenty of audience for Tequila Report, and it's not going to be for everybody, and that's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Hug Your Haters, which has that's a pretty good rating for.
I want a shirt or a hat that says "Hug Your Haters."
Yep, can do. I used to have socks. I had amazing Hug Your Haters socks, but I think I published that book a while ago.
That's funny.
Yeah, that book was well into the 4s when it came out, but now some of the tactical advice around social media and stuff is no longer as current. But
everything is as of the time, right? Like, very few things stand the test of time, except for George Carlin, of course.
Yes.
So, Maddie, obviously you are very, very involved with all this. It sounds like you guys have had a professional relationship for 6 years, of which 4 have been with this tequila stuff. What's one of the things that surprised you? Like, if we could talk to you 6 years ago and say, hey, here's what your next 6 years are going to be like what would be one of the things that, like, you'd be just so shocked to have?
Never did I ever think, like, going to college for marketing that I would be working in tequila, period, much less like visiting distilleries and people recognizing me. That's like so weird and crazy. I don't know, I'd be shocked by all of it, to be completely honest. I probably would agree, but
Maddie, I want to know, like, after you did that first video where you tasted tequila, were you just like, oh shit, like, how many more times do I have to do this? Because it didn't seem like you really liked it in the beginning. So
Jay was there literally said, will you be in one video? So I did not think I was going to be in anymore. And then he was like, okay, what about maybe, like, how about one more? And then, like, the next 2 weeks or whatever, he was like, okay, so now we've got 10. And I was like, oh, okay, great.
Well, that's honestly, like, I gotta believe Jay, with love, you must be not a perfectionist, but you must hold yourself to a high standard, because Tequila Report, from my perspective, looks like a success, and already you're like, oh, I want it to be more successful. So I've got to imagine, like, for you to ask Maddie back and back and back and back, like that's got to be pretty flattering, Maddie, right? Because he seems like probably if he holds you to even half the standard he holds himself to, it's got to be a pretty high standard.
No, it is for sure. I mean, I'm honored to have worked with Jay for as long as I have, and it's really mostly just been the two of us. So yeah, we've gotten to know each other very well and each other's weaknesses and strengths. And it's been a great ride. And it's fun to do something new. Jay always has a new idea. It like scared. He's like, so I was thinking, and I'm like,
how often do you each get asked when you're starting your own brand?
Oh my God.
I think some people think like that don't quite know what we do when we say we work in tequila. I think they automatically go to like you own a brand.
Yeah. Yes.
Heidi, you get asked that a lot too, right?
All the time.
You know my answer? You ready for my answer? I say when I'm ready to lose a year and $1 million.
I say when I win the lottery.
You actually want to start a brand? I don't want to start a brand.
I would love to start a brand. Yeah.
What?
I would.
Okay, let's talk after this because I know some people who can help you with that. Wild. No, Jay, Maddie, you guys consider yourselves fortunate that you get bad feedback on Reddit. Like, I don't even think there's a TequiLadies Reddit subthread. And if someone wants to start one and start hating on us,
maybe we should find out.
I will hug them, our haters. Yeah, you know what? Let's
start your own.
I'm going to start a fake account. I'm going to start a fake account and go on Reddit and be like, who are these TequiLadies chicks?
Maddie, all kidding aside, like, it's funny because when we read stuff on Reddit, like at work, and we know the answer, and we're watching these people just answer with each other, and they're like giving each other sometimes the right information, sometimes the wrong. Like my boss is like, it takes everything in me not to like make an account and just answer it, and like, but like, I do think you have to be an unbiased third party. Like you have to just watch it. Don't break the wall like anthropologists and stuff. Like don't cross over into this. Let them do it. Otherwise, you no longer have the feedback that you need and all that.
Yeah.
You kind of muddy it up. Well, with
I saw a quote, a comment from Patrick in the chat. We are working on a program for insiders to have discounts at in-person liquor stores, right? So we're pretty much good to go on the digital e-commerce side. We don't want to have too many; it's kind of complicated. But we're working on a program where in major cities, big tequila markets, we'll have one, maybe two retailers where you'll have a discount code that applies to Tequila Report influencers. We've got a digital membership card that influencers will have in their Apple Wallet or Android Wallet, so they can just go to La Pina, for example, or Moreno's or somewhere else, Barcoa and Phoenix, and just show the QR code and it takes it off their bill. So we're working on all that.
Amazing.
That is so cool. Marissa, just so you know, we have been brought up on Reddit. I just looked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great success.
Actually,
You've arrived.
In a good way. And you know what's so cool? It was somebody asking about resources on learning about tequila. So people were like, Lou and Lucas. And then somebody put TequiLadies on Instagram, Baer on Instagram.
Hey, what up?
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
The problem is the Baer account's gone, so they're going to be hard pressed to find it.
I'll have to reply and put, it's now the Tequila Report.
No, don't cross the wall. Don't cross the wall.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to cross. Okay.
Can't cross the wall.
Fake account and do it.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, I think I found the right thread.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who are your favorite
There you
people?
go.
All right, let's see. Where are we? Are we on here?
Oh yeah, there you are.
Favorite YouTuber for tasting.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
We made it a year ago.
Yeah.
There you go.
We made it a year ago. Some decent guests. Forget the co-hosts. The guests are great. Wow, this is cool. All right, we made it, Heidi. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
We didn't even know.
Maddie with a double T.
Oh, everybody always spells my name wrong. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it happens.
Wow, that's awesome.
They
All
spelled
right.
her name wrong. They spelled my name wrong. Yeah,
How do you spell
the
your
question
name
that Maddie
wrong?
and I get the most. They don't spell my last name right, which is okay. Nobody does. The question that we get most often is not you're going to start a brand. It's when did you guys get married? We get that question all the time, which is endlessly hilarious.
And I got to say this as like a hardcore feminist. If it were switched, and like the more mentor role
Yeah.
was a woman and the younger person was a man, you would never get that question.
Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, I don't think it's not intended to be offensive, but I think it is a little bit. But yeah, it's not like that. But we are
I
definitely
think
pals.
people,
And
Marissa, I think people would be thinking it in their head, but they wouldn't have the balls to ask if
Oh,
the
I don't
roles
think
were
so. I think
reversed.
it's a complete double standard. Like when you look at
You
movies,
do?
yeah, look, okay. So look at movies and look at the love interest of these like grizzled men who are like the protagonists. It's always like a 20-year-old girl. Like the grizzled male protagonist could be in his like 50s or 60s or whatever, and
Mhm.
it's a 20 to 30-year-old girl. And like Diane Lane, stunning, played like Superman's mom. How close in age is he to Superman, to Henry
I
Cavill?
think it's changing though. Look at J-Lo, Cher,
Okay,
Madonna,
first off,
Jennifer.
everyone hates J-Lo. Second, Madonna gets
But
dragged. Cher is a werewolf or a witch or a
yeah,
vampire.
Cher's 79 or something, so that's
Cher
she
is
looks amazing.
Cher defies the
well,
odds.
I think that might have been some work on. I don't think
Yes,
that's-
her and
Maybe a
Dolly,
little.
her and Dolly. But the
Happy
difference is
birthday to
I don't
Dolly
think that's-
Parton.
Dolly says it takes a lot of money to look this trashy.
God, I love her. Well,
That's kind of how I feel about me.
she's faced a lot of that too. But this is exactly the point. Hug your haters, everybody, because
Yeah.
if you're not controversial, you didn't stand for something. And
Yeah.
I will tell you, one of the top questions I get is, ooh, when you say something nice about a brand, are they really all that good? Or, ooh, when you try something on the show and you don't like it, do you tell people? And I'm like, yeah. Have you seen this face? Do you think I can hold it in? Like, my face tells you everything. I don't even have to use the words. I had a boss when I was 25 tell me to get Botox so that I could be better in board meetings, so
Oh
that
my
no one would know
gosh.
what I was thinking. So come on, like, yes, if I try a tequila and it's good, you'll know, and if it's bad, you'll know. One, I'll tell you, and two, I'll tell you.
Well, that was when we first started off. You could definitely tell what Maddie thought because you could do like a whole like highlight
yeah.
reel of Maddie reaction shots. Because I
That's
should
why I
say, when we
loved
first
it.
started doing videos, for the first like year or so, Maddie, maybe a year and a half, we would drink them cold. Like we would just open them, drink them, and shoot it. Like no,
Love
like
it.
just like honest
Didn't
reaction.
taste it before, yeah.
Honest reaction, and then we switched it because it was without as much scent memory and kind of tasting vocabulary. It was harder for her to in the exact like drink it, talk about it, and that's not easy for anybody. And so a lot of times I would say something and she would just agree with me, and people would give a shit about that. But I'm like, you don't understand what we're asking of her, right? Like drink a tequila you've never had, and then talk about it on camera in real time. Go. And so now
At 10
and
a.m.
over the
I'm
last
like, you guys, I was just at the bar, like shooting Don Julio. I don't know, like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
But that's the
Now you do
balance.
though. Now you do, and our
No,
palates are a
now
lot
you
more
do.
similar.
Back then.
But
Yeah,
your
our palates are a
balance.
lot more similar now than they used to be. But now, so what we used to do, obviously, we're not doing videos anymore. But until we stopped recently and changed the handle. So again, if somebody's looking for the Tequila J Baer handle, it's Tequila Report now. Anyway, so now what we do is we do a little sip off camera. Like, okay, what do we think about this? Then roll the camera and drink it again. It's just the content's better. You don't get as many reaction shots because it's not a surprise, but the content's better.
And,
Yeah.
and you know, that dynamic that you guys have, I think, was really special. It is special, but it's not going to be on camera anymore, so people won't see it as much. But it's really special. And I think, you know, one of the things that Heidi and I balance each other well with just in the last 4 years is we do have very different palettes, and we also have different approaches. Heidi knows everything. The owner comes
No,
on-
I don't.
But like the owner comes on and you have read about their life story. You're like, so tell me about your dog from second grade, like, how it inspired your tequila. And I'm out here like ripping it open, going, okay, let's
Yeah.
try it live. And so
Yeah.
I do think that there's benefit to having different things, and that's one of the things that the Tequila Report is going to do really well. You have different raters who are signing their names to things.
Yeah.
So if you're like, Heidi and I have similar palettes, I will like what she likes, then you know you can trust Heidi's reviews.
And-
it's genius.
Right.
And different writers too. Like right now, I'm writing most of the content, the long form articles and interviews and stuff. But you know, we've got more people wanting to contribute articles and features and things like that, which is great. And so over time, we'll have more perspectives on the editorial side, not just reviews as well. And yeah, I mean that was one of the secrets of our success is that our audience grew up with Maddie, right? And that is a really powerful attractor because everybody started there. I think I said this the last time I was on your show. My good friend Rory Vaden, who Maddie knows, who works with me in one of our other businesses, he's probably the best personal branding consultant in the world. and a dear friend, and his quote, which was written up in his most recent book, which is amazing. And he says, "Your ideal audience is the person that you used to be."
Yeah.
And I think that is such a profound concept, right? That if you're talking to the person you are now, you are ipso facto truncating your audience. Your ideal audience is the person who you were before you got super smart about whatever it is that you care about. And so that's always been the guiding principle for Maddie and I is our ideal audience is the person we used to be, not the person we are today. And sometimes, as Maddie alluded to, it's hard because we both know more now than we used to. And so sometimes you got to check yourself, be like, oh wait, that's getting a little too nerdy for our crew. Like let's just back it off a half measure.
And that was what you explained to me the very first time we had you on the TequiLadies, when I asked you, what advice would you have for somebody who wants to be an educator and inform people? And you said, speak to the people that are learning. Don't speak to the people that already know what you know. And I just thought that was really, really great advice.
Yeah, and I remember asking you advice in a van on one of these tequila trips once. And Heidi and I had made the deliberate decision about a year in where we were like, okay, we can't be, because if you watch some of our early episodes, which I did recently, we would back things up. Like someone would be like, oh, we crushed with a Tahona. And I'd go, hold on, what's a Tahona? And then in the comments, I was getting, this girl doesn't even know what a Tahona is. I was doing that so that the people who didn't know could learn. But I can't do that every week. And so we made the deliberate decision to be like, okay, let's go nerdy. And I remember saying to you, Jay, I know I shouldn't go this nerdy. We shouldn't go this nerdy. We're talking about the grain of wood. And you're like, no, it's fine. Like the type of person who's watching your show every week wants that level.
Yeah.
Be that level. And we did. And you know, frankly, we've had a lot of like consistent people every week, a consistent audience. We have a crew, and they're along with us on this journey.
Yes, it's partially because of the format of the show, right? It's longer form. It requires more of the audience. It's not the easiest content format to access, more so on Instagram than now.
May she rest.
It's episodic. It's so the way you're doing it is almost the opposite of what Maddie and I are trying to do, right? You're pursuing the Chris Anderson 1,000 True Fans model, which is if you have 1,000 true fans, they will buy anything you ever sell to them, right? And if all you need is 1,000 and you can build a whole business based on it, that's what this show is. And that is a totally valid business model, been proven over and over and over and over by so many brands. In fact, most brands that have really loyal followers that are passion-led, whether it's Allbirds shoes or even Starbucks back in the day, started off with that 1,000 True Fans community model.
Allbirds.
It's funny you mentioned this because Maddie and I thought about going down that road with Tequila Report and making it more of a true clubhouse community, a lot of interactive groups and things like that. But that's like Doug is kind of doing that with Agape Social Club, and Rob does a little bit with Tequila Collective, and you guys kind of do it here a little bit. And our good friend Brad Nykum, who's one of the contributors to Tequila Report, is doing a lot more stuff on YouTube. We're like, sort of feel like
Brad, next week's guest.
Yeah, he's next week's
awesome.
guest.
He's going to be amazing. He's fantastic and a good friend. Also another Indiana Hoosier, so shout out. And I know he's tuning in tonight. So we sort of felt like, no, let's do our thing. Like let's be journalists. I was a journalism major, right? So this isn't a super heavy lift conceptually for us.
I love that you did that too, because I do always try to find sources to send people. I don't want to have to teach everybody all the time. And so there are very few resources that you can send someone to just give them the basics. Instagram is fine, but the format's not that easy. Right? Yeah. Written is better, frankly.
At least it's searchable, right, and indexable and savable and bookmarkable. And that's the thing that started frustrating me with Instagram. I'm like, okay, we got 100 people making Instagram videos. Nobody ever thinks to save them. I mean, you can save. There's a function for that, but it's just not set up for that.
No, and they watch like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, honestly, I love. One of the things I'm learning about working on the Tequila Report is like, I forgot like how much I love to write. And it's so much more enjoyable and gratifying to me to write my review instead of get in front of a camera and do it. It's not the same. I can't think of everything that I want to say on the fly like that. So it really is nice to be able to like taste it and write my notes and figure out like how I want to say what I want to say. I love
And
that
Maddie doesn't
part.
have to get made up every 3 weeks, and I don't have to stand next to Maddie every 3 weeks and look like shit in comparison. So everybody wins.
It is such a different format, and I do think writing is an incredibly, unfortunately, rare thing. I just in like written communication that we see recently, it kills me. I wanted to be a writer, Jay. My parents told me if I went to school and studied business, they would pay for undergrad, so that was very compelling. So I did undergrad business, but I wanted to be a writer, and so I hear you. I think writing's a lost art in many ways, unfortunately.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I should say one thing. I touched on it just briefly, but I just want to acknowledge it for folks who are still tuned in. That I think you mentioned somebody mentorship or something, and I guess that is at some level Maddie and I's relationship. But we are truly partners in this venture and in all ventures now. Like Maddie's the publisher of Tequila Report, and that's not just a title. Like she runs the money, she runs all the brand relationships, she runs the entire business side, and I run the editorial side. Like she is extraordinarily crucial to this entire effort. And as somebody who, as she said a moment ago, was just doing shots of Don Julio in college bars 5 years ago.
Market research.
I think that underscores just how talented and intelligent Maddie is. People don't always assume that because of the bias we have against young women, especially, and blondes in particular.
Preach.
But she is an absolute rock star, and she knows the rule. Like she is my ride or die. If Maddie ever leaves, the site closes the next day. Like I would never do this a single day without her, and that is the God's honest truth.
Wow.
And you said you've been working together for 4 years, right?
More than that.
More than that. That's it.
Almost
Such
6
a
years,
huge, such a huge compliment. So Maddie, 6 years ago, if somebody would have said to you, we're going to give you a publication, what would you want to write about 6 years ago before Tequila?
I know what it is. Can I answer?
Yeah, go.
He's probably gonna say cheese. I probably like coffee. I don't know. I also love coffee.
We have
Yeah.
reserved the queso Maddie handle for future use.
Wait, really?
That's gonna be the next expansion.
The best
Queso report.
cheese. What's your favorite cheese? Just quickly.
Well, my very favorite is the one that they have we had it when we were doing Alma, Vivanco.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember
They
what
make
it was
across the street.
called?
Oh, it's so good.
No,
It's like a Chihuahua cheese. They make it across the street.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what it
It's
was
like
called.
the texture is just incredible.
But like over here, I love goat cheese, and
Me too.
I don't know. I'll eat pretty much anything.
I love cheese.
She'll eat pretty much anything as long as it's cheese.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
provolone is underrated. I think sharp provolone is very underrated. Of the like
I love-
cheese.
I love Manchego.
Manchego.
Oh, me too.
That's
Good choice.
too.
You know, if
Love
I
it.
have a dog, maybe I'll name it Manchego. No, because then if they do something bad, then I'll have a negative association with Manchego, and I don't want that.
That's not good.
Anyway, we tend to make these shows about an hour. We're clearly a bit over that, but of course we're learning, so it's great.
Mhm.
But with like the wrap nearing, is there anything that you wish we covered, that you wish we asked you that we didn't, that you guys wanted to cover?
Oh, wait. Tell us about the Alma del Jaguar project and how people can get it.
Oh yeah, thanks. Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so that was last time we were eating the cheese at the distillery. We went to do a single barrel project with them and had, I don't know how many samples, maybe 12 different samples of American and French oak. And Jay really loves French oak and I like American oak. And we couldn't like quite agree on which one we liked. So we ended up actually doing some blending with Sergio. And we came up with a really awesome blend. And so instead of doing a single barrel, we did a special batch, which is a blend of the French and American oaks that Jay and I both liked. It's absolutely delicious. It's $89.99, I believe. And if you buy two, you get free shipping, which is
Also
awesome.
high proof too. Also high proof,
high proof.
46.8%.
What's the proof? What's the proof?
46.8.
Okay,
Wow.
46.8.
You guys like the number 89.99. It's also the monthly for Tequila Report.
Oh,
Wait, so
And because it's like half Maddie's choice, half mine. There's a brand for this, Harmony. It's Almeida Yaguara Harmony Añejo.
Is California one of the states you can ship to?
Yes.
I'm gonna have it shipped there because I'm gonna be there. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So one of the things that today I was with somebody today who was asking about tequila, and I was trying to explain the difference between French and American oak. Do you guys want to take a stab at that since you're like the educators here?
Sure. Go ahead, Maddie.
I'm gonna let you take it, Jay.
All right.
You're more educated on this.
The reason they're different is because the grains. I mean, obviously they're grown in a different place. So you've got terroir of oak, so we'd have terroir of anything's ground, planted in the ground. But French oak's grain is tighter, and the nature of that, it ages a little more slowly because it gets microscopically less air in it. But French oak tends to create more leather, tobacco, and berry flavors, like red and black fruits, almost like you'd get in a Syrah. Even though it's not wine aged, it has some of the same characteristics. Where the classic American oak, which is typically aged in ex-whiskey or bourbon barrels, is going to give more of the caramel, butterscotch, vanillins that were so commonly found in aged tequila expressions. Some of the brands that really live by French oak that folks may know is Don Fulano is almost exclusively French oak. Volcan de Mitiera is also French oak, although it's new French oak, not pre-released. It's a different characteristic. And Chivas Villarona, for example. So that kind of berry character, because I do love red wine, that kind of berry character I think is really interesting. I just get a little fatigued sometimes with the bourbon mimicry in añejos and extra añejos. So I'm a sucker for the French, and Maddie loves the American. So this is a really, really fun project. And if I may, since we're wrapping it up, I'll give you a tease of the next special edition from the Tequila Report, never before talked about publicly.
Okay.
Oh.
It'll be out in March, date TBD, but I'm actually doing the final profile this Saturday. It is going to be Tierra del Ensueño. We're going back to Ensueño. I think Heidi has our previous edition at hand, which was a massive success. We sold that out in like 2 seconds, hugely successful. But Tequila Report is partnering with Ensueño for the first ever Ensueño high proof, and we are super pumped. It's going to be amazing.
Wow.
I'm not saying to release it on the 15th because it's my birthday, but I'm not saying.
Okay, I'll talk to Matt.
When you say high proof,
it's a Sunday.
How high proof? How high?
Yeah, high. Yeah, high.
High. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be 50 plus.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
And we also have projects in the works. These are unconfirmed, so don't hold me to this because, again, tequila business is full of vagaries. But we have other projects coming down this year. Again, this is why you should give us $89 to be an insider, so you get access to these projects. We have projects with Cambio. We have projects with an incredible, crazy one that I can't talk about with Wild Common.
Nice.
And Wild Common doesn't do special batches, right? So we're really lucky to do that one. And 2 more that I can't disclose yet, but it's going to be a really great year. We've got 6 in the pipeline.
Are the other 2 TequiLadies guests, or you don't know TequiLadies lore that well to know? He's not saying a damn thing. Unlike me, his face doesn't give it away. Wow. Okay.
There's the old.
Okay. By the way, your French and American explanation is excellent, and I think one of the things I would just addendum to it is I think of American, like stereotypes of an American versus stereotypes of like a French person, and who's a little more uptight. Typically, people think the French, and that's how I remember that the grain is tighter. And Americans are a little more loose, and that's how I remember the grain's a little looser.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
As somebody who's a child living in France, it resonates with me.
Okay, so I'm not wrong, which is good. I too prefer French recently, though I think it all cycles. And I ultimately had this girl try Don Fulano Reposado tonight.
Love it.
So,
this is great. This was great.
Any last minute comments, Maddie? since you haven't?
No, not from me. Just thank you guys for having us on. It was so fun to talk about this and all the projects we have coming up, and it's an honor. I've never been on before, so.
I know, which is wild because we focus on women in the industry, and I bet if you surveyed 100 people, you would be top 3 female names that they name, if not top 5, certainly. Like,
and very recognizable, especially when you go to Mexico.
She's got to be top 3 or top 5 most recognizable.
Yeah, for
sure.
Female influence.
Again, I'm not like Jay's the talker. I'm get hives, but
I say influencer with respect. I know people like really don't like that word, but I mean like people, you know, in this space, like content creation or whatever. But yeah, wow, 4 years, that's incredible. See, so everyone who's listening, who's like, man, I don't know, like, look how much life can change in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Just keep that in mind, and just if you're having a good time, know that that's wonderful. But if you're having a bad time, know that that could be short-lived as well, and things can always change.
I have one more question for each of them, and I'll make it really quick.
Okay.
Now that you've been enjoying tequila together as business partners for 4 to 6 years, Maddie, like, do you prefer blanco, reposado, or añejo? And Jay, what do you prefer?
Good question. I think I definitely used to prefer extra añejo, but I think reposado is kind of like my sweet spot now. I can appreciate blanco. I definitely couldn't. You know, when we first started, I was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." But no, now I like, you know, I can appreciate it. But I think reposado is definitely my go-to.
One vote for Repo. Jay, what about you?
I've been drinking tequila for 35 years seriously. People think like I just burst on the scene 3 years ago and started making videos or whatever, but I've been studying this, you know, since I was Maddie's age. So I've been doing this a long, long time, just not on video. Like a lot of people, I started with Repo because it is the most flexible, I think, of the expressions and has the greatest breadth of flavor profiles. And I find it to be the most approachable. But like most people who go down the friggin' rabbit hole, you end up at Blanco, you know, in almost all cases. Like Maddie will eventually end up at Blanco. I will bet you any amount of money, right? It just happens, right? Because at some point you want everything that's not agave stripped away, because you want that pure essence, and it's also the truest test of the master distiller's art.
Yeah, I love that answer, and I think it hits on a few points where we all circle back. Maddie starting at extra añejo. I think many of us did. We started extra.
I definitely did.
And then at some point you go really deep and you're like, I want Blanco only, and I want it to be a high proof Blanco.
Yeah.
And then then you ease off the gas a little, and then you're into repos again, and then you're into añejos again. And like, it's very cyclical. I think it's also seasonal. What's your answer?
Oh, for sure. And the sales data back that up, Marissa. If you look at the Nielsen data, the seasonality of expressions is very. Maddie and I did a video about that last quarter about, you know, how blancos and things like that are down in when it's warm, and añejos and extra añejos are down when it's warm, and then they're up when it's cold, right? Because, you know, an extra añejo in July feels like weird. You want more of like a, you know, snowy scene, bearskin rug kind of situation. That's all very true. I'll say one thing, and you talked about kind of going to high proof blancos and maybe backing off a little bit. That's kind of how I feel like a lot of people are with beer, right? Everybody got into like deep IPAs, and I want double IPAs, and I want triple IPAs, and I want quadruple IPAs, right? And I want, you know, and then like, that's kind of a lot. You're getting into session IPAs, it's gotten really light. And I'll just say, as somebody who's in Mexico a lot now, I actually really have come to enjoy the 38% Mexican ABV releases. And you don't get as much flavor concentration, obviously, because it's got 2% more water, but it is nice. And like, I get it. Like, it's just, you know, it's like a session tequila, which is it's kind of great.
Well, you know what I do? I said I was drinking tea, but what I was actually drinking, and I do this thing called tequila, hot water, and a little bit of tequila. I did hot water and a little bit of ginger ale tonight, just because like I was in the mood for it. I can't tell you the last time I've had like a soda raw, like not mixed with water. And I look at tequila in the same way. Like, these high proofs are like the not mixed with water, right? Literally. But if you try it like at the lower ABV, like with a little bit of water, or at the 38% in Mexico, like there's a little bit of delicateness to it. There's a little nuance, and you can start to actually really train your palate to appreciate that. And then when you do try something high proof, or you do try just like the pure soda, it's almost like, it like hits you.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of desensitize to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's something good about that.
Yeah.
Well,
I just got the new newsletter in my inbox, so it's out. Tequila Report.
well, I signed
All
up,
right.
so I got to see if I got it. Thank you both. Next week we have Brad coming on, which is going to be awesome. He's one of the coolest. He allowed us to reschedule him twice when we had people drop out. He was like, "I'm in," and then they like came back last minute. They're like, "No, we're back," and he's like, "Okay, I'll go." Like he's just been an unbelievably incredible person.
I
And so
love him.
when we had someone try to take his slot for next week, I was like, "No, this is Brad's spot, like out."
Right.
And like I said, we are booking for end of July, August right now, though we do have a few tentatives in February. So if there's a brand you want to hear from or someone who can commit, God damn it, we have 2 slots open in February potentially. Definitely 1, potentially 2. So let us know.
All right, Heidi, holler at me, and we'll see. We've got lots of brands, so we can plug it in there.
I definitely will. Thank you.
So, thank you both very much. You've been inspirations, not just tonight, but for the last 4+ years. We've loved learning
Yes.
alongside you, and it was a real honor to talk with you both tonight.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, ladies. Always good to see you. And Heidi, thanks so much for your work. We love having you.
Oh, thank you. It was great to see you both too. We everybody loves what you're doing.
Thanks.
And those who don't matter. And
Don't matter.
matter.
Hug your haters. Hug your haters.
Nah, they totally matter. Their opinion matters. Everybody's opinion matters. We don't need everybody, though.
Well, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, or something, right? Like that was in my kindergarten. I don't know. Like I said, haters gonna hate, but I love it because it gives me stuff to work on and also stuff to laugh about. So
And every critic is a chance to educate. So there you go.
and a chance to laugh and make fun.
Thank you so much, Jay,
Thanks,
Baer,
guys.
and Maddie.
See you later.
Thanks,
Heidi,
guys.
what do we tell them? What do we say?
We'll see you next and every Tuesday.
See you next. And